quilting friends, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber. It's the last block for our 4-patch block of the month. Those of y'all who have joined me since January and have been working on this, this is the last block. Those of you who started part way, welcome, and hopefully you're all caught up, but if not, that's okay. The quilt's not going to go bad if it takes you another 6 months to make it. And those of you who are watching in 2024 or beyond, welcome, and I hope you're enjoying this quilt. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and make sure that you comment with any questions because I'm around to answer your questions. It's what I love to do. All right, friends, let's get started. Okay, so I still have yard work going on in the background. I think one of my neighbors is chopping down a forest with the chainsaw. So apologies if you hear that in the background, but I have all my cutting done. If you need any of the details on what to cut, go down to the description and that's where you can get all the information on getting this pattern. So we have our background and our green squares and then our small background squares. Our large background squares, they need the lines drawn on because we're doing those half square triangles again. So I use this favorite ruler. Go down in the description for a link if you don't have it yet. And I drew a line on either side and then my dashed line in the middle. And I've already done this on all of them because we've done this a couple times already. And I didn't want you to have to wait while I was working on this. Okay, so we're going to take our green square and our background square, put them right sides together, and you already know how this goes. We're stitching on those lines. I have my regular J foot here on the machine, and I'm just going to go ahead and stitch right on that line. Once you have all these stitched on one side, we're going to go ahead and flip them and stitch the other side. Now once we have stitched both sides, we are going to just cut down the middle. Again, this is all stuff we've done several times throughout this quilt, so it's nothing new. And then once we have these cut, we are going to press towards the green. Now that these are all pressed, we're going to go ahead and cut off our dog ears. So let me go ahead and trim those off. If you wanted to, you could square up these blocks to 3.5 inches if that is your preference rather than just trimming off the dog ears. Totally up to you. Squaring them up to 3.5 inches, it gives you a more accurate quilt for sure. I think my half square triangles are pretty good. I'm just going to run with it, but it's totally up to you what you want to do. It's your quilt and you should be happy with the way it turns out. So. Okay, so now we can make our blocks. We have 2 blocks that are like this. And then we have 2 blocks that are like this, right? Yes. Okay, so now we're going to stitch these into pairs so we can stitch the pairs together to make our 4-patch units, which become our 4-patch units. Oh, I'm gonna swap this out for a 1/4 inch foot. All right, so I have these all laid out. These ones are all getting pressed toward the squares. These ones are getting pressed towards the squares. These ones are going to get pressed this direction. It is towards a half square triangle, but it's going to make it so that we can nest those seams. And it's got to be pressed in one direction or the other, so. Now we can stitch these together to make the 4-patch units. Whew, okay, so these units go like this. These ones go like this. Perfect. So I'm going to stitch these into pairs to make the rows, and then the rows together are going to make the finished quilt block. I'm going to press this one towards the green and this one towards the green. And that presses them in opposite directions, and it presses them kind of towards the dark. I'm going to spin this seam real quick. That's block 12 of our 4-patch block of the month. Go down to the description for information about when the finishing instructions, the finishing video will be out. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, that you're subscribed, and leave any questions and comments below. That's it for today, my friends. I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.